So, good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for having me here, Mayo. Thank you so much all for coming. And I might not sound or be as crazy as Steve Jobs that I was just compared to, but I would be very happy to share my story, and I would be very happy to share my story from the heart. So, as Amer just said, I usually do speak from the heart, but today, this morning, I was thinking that, okay, in 15 minutes, I can go on and tell you guys about everything about me, but what is it that you will take away? So what I did was that I sort of broke down my story into 5 little parts. So there are 5 little giveaways that I will leave behind with you, so that when you go back and you think about Fiza Farhan, there's something that still clings on to the mind. So who am I? Why am I here? I'm a normal Pakistani girl, Fiza Farhan, who was born into a conventional family. My father was in the Navy. My typical family where if you're a girl, you end up being a doctor or you end up getting married. If you're a guy, you can either go into the military or be an engineer. And that's it. There are no other options. So from early childhood, I knew that those options don't work for me. I don't know who I wanted to be, but there was this crazy spark that just told me that something else, something different. I'm not going to be a doctor. I'm not going to be a wife. I'm not going to be an engineer. I'm not going to follow the typical path that my family would set. So having done my high school, I wanted to go to LUMS, and that was the first sort of, getting out of your family and taking a stand for yourself type situation, because nobody in our family had done that before. No girl had gone to LUMS, stayed in the dorms. That was a huge thing, by the way. Ab nahi lagti itni. Behind me, all my cousins went to LUMS, but I was the first one to break that norm. वो हो गया, उसके बाद my parents thought कि चलो लम्स हो गया, अब तो शादी कर लेगी फौरन. And as soon as I graduated, I still wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but they were still ahead of me. I wanted to have answers before I could get into my work life, and I wanted to experience the international world out there and see where can I get answers to this crazy spirit in me, telling me कि कुछ और करना है, कुछ और बनना है, लेकिन क्या बनना है वो अभी तक पता नहीं था. So that's when I decided I want to pursue my masters and go to Warwick Business School. And that was like sort of that point when my father was willing to कि मुझे आग करके घर से बाहर निकाल दें, because I was just completely breaking the norms. He even tore apart my Warwick acceptance letter the day it came to my house. So it was that bad. But then I went ahead and I did pursue my dreams at that early age of my life, and I decided to go out there and experience the world and see what lies in it for me. And today, standing here, I'm glad I did that. And for all of you who have children who are fighting with you right now, saying they want to be somebody else, Samayu was just telling me how supportive they've been with their children, and I feel that this is the first step to ignite that craziness in the right direction when it's still there. Because unfortunately, many of us kill it a bit too soon, and then we become part of the normal parcel. So the first sort of giveaway that I want to leave behind, and I've written it down, is to believe in yourself and your inner calling from the early years of your life. Do not settle for the life that others want you to live. Especially in our culture, बहुत लोगों को शौक होता है to define lives for others. You should be this, you should be that, you should get married, you should, become this. Let people design their lives for themselves. Create the life that you're capable and deserving of living. If you can't achieve something, your mind would not have the capacity to conceive it. If your mind is conceiving something, that means it's achievable. So live and let people live. Let the crazy go out and, in fact, instigate craziness with forums like these. Well, then I came back from Warwick, having done that initial fight with my own personal life. So personal life got sorted. But then again, I didn't know, I wasn't sure who I wanted to be still. I knew, we're talking about entrepreneurs here, by the way, and I'm a byproduct of entrepreneurship. I'm an indirect entrepreneur. I knew that I didn't want to join my family business. It was rice mill production in Sialkot, so that didn't really sort of hit my crazy bell. I knew I didn't want to do a 9-to-5 job, but I wanted to do something which was non-existent, something where I could create, something where I could be an entrepreneur without really setting up my own company, and how could that be possible? Friends, family again told me I'm crazy, job kar lo, itni achhi degrees hain, just get into any FMCG would take you, any bank would take you. But I knew that was not it for me. And for the first 2-3 months, I kept consulting, I kept traveling, I kept meeting different people. And finally, one fine day, I met the craziest of them all, Mr. Buksh. who, as many of you know right here, is one of the most dynamic entrepreneurs that I've come across. And that's when we decided, we were sitting and talking that what is non-existent in Pakistan and how can we create businesses jo Pakistan mein nahi hai. This was back in 2008. And that's when we realized that there were two things that were non-existent and the vision said ki ye ho sakta hai at some point. One was renewable energy and the second was impact investment. So I ended up launching Buksh Foundation and Buksh Energy with Asim Buksh in 2009. Both companies trying to achieve the impossible, both companies trying to do what was non-existent. There was no demonstration, no successful case studies to follow. But what I got that clean platform to create my wild ideas. I got that clean slate where I could just go in every day and say, okay, this is the problem. Banks mein bijli nahi aati and they need to operate their banks 24/7. So what do? Create a solution for them, develop a prototype and launch it. It might be a success, it might be a failure, but it's still a chance to do something that no one's done before. So my point here is that when your mind is set that you want to achieve something and there is nobody around that is doing that thing, there is no direction, just keep believing it because craziness attracts craziness and that's why I think we're all sitting in this room. It's the law of attraction, I believe. Eventually you end up meeting the right people, achieving the right circumstances, and creating that right situation for yourself. So believe in your craziness, and if you think ki koi aur nahi kar raha, so don't worry that right person or that right direction will follow suit shortly. So my second giveaway is that when you have a burning desire to achieve something in life, and it has to be a burning desire, craziness does not come without a burning desire. There's no point of settlement, there's no compromise when you're crazy. And you focus all your energy into that burning desire, the universe starts to move towards your direction and starts attracting the right people and the right circumstances towards you. So believe in this law of attraction, that craziness attracts craziness. Now, when we set up Buksh Foundation and Buksh Energy, again there's another giveaway that I would like to give. Everything that we did in both these companies were non-existent in Pakistan. From solar ATMs, the first solar branches in Pakistan, to the first solar commercial setups, to the first solar villages in the country, to the first solar micro entrepreneurs in the country, which we now call Roshna Bibi, and we have 250 women around the country working as Roshna Bibis for us, distributing renewable energy in their own villages, to solar IPPs. When we started doing this, there was no energy policy, there was nothing. We had to bang our heads against so many walls, innumerable, for the first 2 years. Yet we did not give up. And today we stand as one of the leading energy companies with a full energy ecosystem in place, which is not just... Thank you. Thank you. Now, the point being, this is so much better, isn't it? The point being there again, that if, be it your personal life or be it your professional life, be it your business plan or be it what you want to set up, if nobody is doing it, that doesn't mean it cannot be done. If no one has ever done it, then you have two options. Either you can become a part of that bandwagon of nobodies, or you can be that final somebody who did it. So the point is that believe, the word belief is extremely key even if you want professional success. Everything that we've done in both these companies are for the first time in Pakistan. The first clean energy loan, the first solar ATM, the first solar milk chiller, the first solar IPP. Till date, we're sitting in our internal business meetings and the team asks me or Asim, "Ki sir, ye to nahi ho sakta. Ye to kisi ne nahi kiya." So the point being that if you believe in yourself personally or professionally, it does not matter ki wo kaam pehle hua kya nahi hua. In fact, for the crazy ones out here, jab koi kehta hai ki ye kaam nahi ho sakta, that's when the spark to wanting to do it begins. Jab koi kehta hai ki ye mumkin nahi hai, that's when we feel that, okay, now this is my cup of tea, I'll take this one. So it has to start from the point when others give up. And that's why the crazy people lead the show in most of the business or economic sectors globally. So with this, my giveaway would be to identify with the opportunities you believe in. If it hasn't been done yet, it means there are more chances of you to doing it right. Because if they're not examples of successes, they aren't even examples of failures, right? People will always confine you and limit you, more so in our society, I believe, and try to break you down. Nothing is impossible. And this is very much within the word itself, impossible. If you look at it from a different angle, it becomes I'm possible. So it's up to you if you want to look at the word impossible as, okay, that's it, or say I'm possible and go ahead with it. Now, when I started, that brings me to my fourth learning or giveaway. Being the CEO of Buksh Foundation and the director of Buksh Energy at a very young age, I'm going to give a very personal anecdote here as well. I used to always, because in the energy sector, it's very highly male-dominated sector. Not just male-dominated, but usually the people I interact with or do business deals with are 40 to 60-year-old men, 50 to 60, to be honest, or even more. And earlier when somebody would ask me my age, I would say 35, 40, wherever I could sort of push it that particular day, depending on how I'm dressed. Now this year, Forbes gave that away. And with the 30 and the 30, I started getting calls from people that, seriously, so how old were you when we met you? 5 साल पहले हम मिले थे, तो अभी तुम्हें ये मिला, तो तब तुम कितने साल की थी? So and I've been through it, and I really talk about this part, about how being a young Pakistani woman, I feel that I have broken a lot of glass ceilings, professionally and personally. And how I'm standing here representing not just Fiza Farhan or Buksh Energy or Buksh Foundation, but I'm representing the potential that the Pakistani youth has and the potential that the Pakistani woman has, if she's allowed to fly away with her wings held high. So I just, again, a bit personal. When I started off, it used to be intimidating being a young girl walking into a room full of, middle-aged, old men from the energy sector, highly experienced, highly professional. They wouldn't take me seriously earlier. They'd say, "Vachi hai, okay, fine." I felt very intimidated. I felt this as one of my greater weaknesses because I couldn't understand that how do I put my point through? How do I make them see me as a professional? And then one fine day, I don't know where it came from, but it struck that this is my weakness and this can also become my greatest strength. And if I work on my competence and make myself equivalent or higher to them in my professional capacity, then being a woman can actually become my strength because there are very few of us out there. If I'm the only woman in a room, and believe me, this is not just in Pakistan. I was recently at this Pakistan business Danish delegation to Denmark, and throughout the delegation there were 43 men and I was the only woman. So it's really how you see your situation and how you see your weakness. That very weakness that was intimidating you earlier can become your greatest strength. And that's what I did. I started working on my competence, on making myself into a professional, into a leader. And within years, very, very short span of time, I not only evolved as a professional, but with the local and the international accreditations, I sort of evolved as a leading woman professional. And then being a woman, that same very weakness really did become my strength. Because there are very few of us out there who are sitting in a boardroom of men making decisions. And to be honest, being a woman does open a few doors, but then you have to really prove it to them with your competence that you're there to stay. So this very important takeaway, I give away, that I usually speak when I'm motivating women in universities, I go to LUMS very often for that too now, is the fact that being a woman is more of a strength rather than a weakness. Only if you believe in it and know how to use it. And believe me, if each one of us women out there, can realize this one simple truth, the economy of Pakistan or any country could double, triple. Because we are 50% of the population. We are what holds half the sky. So that was one of my largest, I think one of the greatest learnings through my experiences, that I do not have many success stories to follow there in Pakistan around me. But I feel really proud now when young girls come to me and ask me how they can sort of get over the initial challenges they feel, and I can guide them, because I really feel that type of mentoring is very important in our country to get out the craziness irrespective of gender or age. Because, crazy has no age limit, crazy has no limitations of gender. Now, bringing down to my fifth and last giveaway. These years, all these years, it's just been 7 years we've set these companies up. And apart from all the work that we've done in the renewable energy or the development sector, I have been very lucky myself. I've given my heart and soul to the crazy ideas, because being crazy has one challenge as well. When you're going out of the norm, you have to really prove it as well. And for that, you have to really put in double the effort. If you want to follow the traditional line, if you follow the convention, then it's easier. You know, you can just follow the path that has already been set and trodden 10,000 times. But if you want to create your own path, then that does also require additional passion, additional energy, and a lot of hard work. So I feel I have put that in, but rightly got a lot of it back. Standing today where I am, representing not just myself, but Pakistan on multiple international forums, gives me a lot of pride in being the crazy person that I was. Being on the Forbes list of 30 under 30 this year, being the second future energy leader from Pakistan and the first on the board, representing Pakistan to the UN Foundation. Recently I was there in April, and the flag of Pakistan was hoisted that day because there was one speaker from Pakistan. And that feeling to see your country's flag go up because you're on that podium really gives you belief that, you know, you're right. Let's continue to be crazy. Please. So, thank you. So, my very important giveaway here to everybody is to believe in yourself. And I'm circling back to the ideology of believing in yourself, because a crazy person cannot survive in this world of normality if you don't believe beyond a certain vision. Do not run after success, money, or fame. Just do what you love to do and do it with your heart and soul. And success will follow you automatically. That's what we crazy people believe. We don't run after money, success, or fame. They come to us. That's what crazy attracts. They follow us. Steve Jobs, that was a brilliant example just quoted. So those things come to you when you follow your dreams. Lastly, I would just like to say that we have one life to live. Everybody sitting here and, you know, beyond. One life to live. Like, come to think of it, this day gone by, this evening gone by is gone. And you really don't know when your time clock's ending. So, associate yourself with crazy people. Attend more of these fun, crazy events where you can meet more of us and you know, share your craziness with us. Be crazy, live crazy, and take chances in life. Because there's only one life to live, and let's make it one hell of a crazy living. So thank you, everybody.